Hello, welcome to the very first Tasty Classics Tower of Power. It's very, very long, it's very, very brilliant, and here's what you can expect to see as we take two cars and battle them on both of our boards.
Oh no, oh I spinned it.
We've both got £1,000 to spend on a reasonably priced car. Only criteria we've set, it's got to be from Gran Turismo type era.
Yeah.
So late or early to mid 2000s.
Yeah, our Gran Turismo era.
Yeah,
when we were
we're old boys now.
when we were young, when we didn't have driving licenses yet, these are the sorts of cars that we wanted to sort of rag around the track, you know. So £1,000 each. What have you gone for?
I was doing a little bit of eBay late one night.
Nice, yeah.
So bids only, ending soonest, and I came across a little 2006 Daihatsu Copen.
Nice, turbo.
660cc turbocharged, furious little machine.
Whoa, nice, very, very cool.
How about your good self?
So I've gone for, this was really hard to get one under £1,000, but I'd always wanted to have a look into what this actual car was and, you know, try and find out a bit more about it. The Citroen C4 Sebastian Loeb edition. You know,
Sebastian Loeb.
It's like a rally car.
And we're taking it to a track.
Insane. So it was like, it was 970 quid or something. Needed a bit of work, but I found it, you know, and I think today we need to go and get it. Oh God.
Hey, good morning.
Oh. Okay, right, where are we going then? We're going to Bolton. So they only made like, I think 500 of the C4s, maybe 300 of the C2s. So it's quite a nifty little car. It's not the fastest, most powerful car ever.
Definitely a future little classic, that.
Well, this is it. It's something that potentially might hang on to. It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Anything with a bit of rally heritage seems to command a bit of premium, doesn't it?
Does, absolutely, yeah. Special editions are always good to have. So yeah, 110 horsepower, 1.6 litre.
Race on the way back.
Oh, listen to that.
Worth getting old bad for, isn't it?
I've got a feeling if we did have a race there, you might win. We're in Rob's Z4. It's 3 litre Z4, which is a nice little thing, isn't it?
It is a lovely little car.
Is it sports mode as well? That's good.
Yeah.
We're going to head up there, see what this car's like. Hopefully it's good enough. I asked the guy and he said, yeah, you could drive it from here to London and back, so that's kind of good enough for me. For some reason, this car is about £1,000 cheaper than any of the others that I've seen, which is like worrying, but at the same time really cool. But why is it £1,000 cheaper, you know? What's
Find
wrong
out
with
in
it?
like 45 minutes. Well, give me a bit of a ringer.
It could be a ringer, yeah, it could be written off. I mean, even if it is a category C write-off or something, I'll probably still buy it because it's so cheap, you know, and I just want to have a spinning one really, and we can explore it, you know. But there must be a reason. But anyway, we'll have a good look over it and then, you know, drive it back and we'll get it in the workshop and see what it's all about, get it up in the air and make sure that it's going to be ready for the small and delicate amount of abuse that it's going to get shortly. The weather's pretty bad today. It's like every time I tend to go and buy a car, it's hammering it down, and I don't know why that is.
It's a sign.
It is a sign, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, typical British bank holiday, this, isn't it?
That's it, absolutely.
Yeah, so tell me a bit more about this Tower of Power idea then. I've heard you mention it, but
Yeah.
we get the gist of it.
So the purpose of getting this car today is that I want to get it on the Tower of Power, the leaderboard,
Okay.
and we need to show the car's 0 to 60, which is going to be pretty simple.
Yeah.
Quite easily done. We can do that in a number of ways. And then the lap time. Now, the lap time is slightly more complicated, and in the first video, I discussed how we were going to get the lap times on the board, even though we're going on different tracks. A little bit crazy, I know, but the maths stands up. Have a look at the description, and there's a little bit of maths there. It's fraught with problems. The car could be faster on the straights, it could be slower under braking if there's lots of hair, but just loads of things like that. But this is only a bit of fun, and it's just so we can put these cars on the leaderboard, and it should give us an idea of which car is better on a track, because a lot of tracks, they're not all just one big sweeping corner or one big long straight. They all have lots of corners and lots of straights, so you kind of get an idea, can't you?
Yeah.
So that's the idea. So we're going to get this car, we're going to stick it on the board, and then just do another one.
Yeah, I like the sound of it.
Yeah, keep doing that over and over again.
Never driven on a track, you know.
Never.
Never actually driven on a track.
Oh my god.
Well, I have once, but that was at uni, and that was more of a sighted lap around Pembrey Stick.
It's probably a bad idea, then I should have maybe asked someone else to do this with us.
There's only one way to learn.
Well, that's it, absolutely.
He's a professional versus amateur.
But you know, the thing is, I mean, you drive fast cars on the road all the time, so it's just the same thing as that, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. And you've probably got more of a comfort zone on a track because
you don't have to look for bumpers.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, well, that's interesting, isn't it? But yeah, well, we should see how we get on then. The deal is done. Got myself a LOEB edition, which is something I've been quite keen on getting for a while, or at least getting my hands on so I can take it for a quick spin, you know. And yeah, I'm genuinely quite impressed. Now, the reason I got it cheap was the gear selector is a bit sketchy and it needs some investigation, which we'll do. The ABS light is on, so I need to plug my thing in, and that's pretty much it. Also, where it looks like someone's been in at the clutch, and the bite point's very, very high, so maybe it's had a clutch or something. It's not been set up probably. I don't know. We need to do more investigation. But the airbox is hanging off, held on by one bolt, and a few telltale signs that someone's been there before who maybe didn't care as much as me. The initial positives, though, are that it drives really straight. Steering wheel's super straight, and everything kind of works on the car, you know, which is really impressive, isn't it? I mean, let's just turn this AC down a bit. It's got dual climate control. It's unnecessary, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, like, all the buttons and switches seem to do stuff, which is quite cool. A lot of traffic lights in Bolton, isn't there? That's not bolted down properly. Quite a few things that aren't bolted down properly in the car, but that's not a problem, is it? We can bolt things down, we can do that. Bodywork seems to be quite straight from what I've seen. Hard to tell, obviously, in the pouring rain, but from what I have seen, it's not bad. It's a couple of marks. But we'll explore those a little bit deeper later. Now I've not really been able to redline this thing through the gears or throw it around any corners because we're in the pouring rain going through central Bolton, but it feels like it's going to be quite fun. I mean, it feels light. It's quite a light car. I think it's only 1,185 kilograms or something, this car. Maybe more like 2,000 kilograms with me sat in it, but yeah, it's pretty good. The whole car feels quite high. It feels like the suspension's quite high. Even the sort of seating position's I feel quite high up in the car. I know I've just been sat in Rob Z4, but I do still feel like I'm a little bit higher up in this thing. And it's a strange sort of feel of driving position. I mean, it's classic Citroen doing something different, but just like the way the roof sort of just carries on like an estate car would, but in a car the size of a hatchback, it's just a bit strange. It kind of feels like you're sticking your arse out the window to have a shit, if you know what I mean. It's a bit odd, but I like it, you know. It feels like it could be a real laugh around a racetrack. Because you don't need a fast car on a track day, you need a fun car on a track day. Do these buttons work? Oh yeah, they do. Exciting. What else works on the car? All the wipers seem to be working. I think it's got automatic. Yeah, is that automatic wipers? Just put these lights on, have a look. Was that the back wiper? How do you do the back wiper? Maybe the back wiper doesn't work, or maybe I'm just not using the right thing. Dual zone climate control. AC is on. They're both set to low. Does the air conditioning work? How do you... Oh, there's one here. Here's a vent. It's kind of cold. Oh yeah, okay. That's coolish, yeah. Probably needs a regas, but that's not half bad. Right, let's put it back on the windscreen because I can't see. Yeah, no major sort of like knocks or bangs or rattles or a couple of little squeaks here and there, but nothing, there was one, but nothing like, you know, properly sort of standing out as a problem. It seems to drive really nicely. It's only done 131,000 miles. 131,502. That's pretty good. Volkswagen Beetle. Amazing. But yeah, nothing untoward. And that's surprising. I thought it would be quite knocky and clangy because whoever's been at the gearbox last, when I had a look at it earlier, it's sort of covered in oil and there's a few parts that are missing, and I get the feeling that it has just been thrown back on. Maybe under duress, with a gun against their head or something, you know. Get this gearbox back on this car now! Ah! Just going through Warrington now. Lots of industry in Warrington. I was thinking, when this car came out, you probably would have given it maybe like a, I don't know, like a 4 out of 10 for styling points. It was quite a shock to the system. I remember seeing them and thinking, that does not look finished. They need to finish that car, and then we'll have a look. But then the rally car came out and you were like, whoa, look at all the big wings, you know, that was pretty cool, you know, as you can see in these pictures here, it did look like the part, it really did. This was way back when rally cars all used to look different. Now they just all look like exactly the same things made by 2, maybe 3 manufacturers. So looking back at those cars, and then, you know, how the sands of time have sort of shaped my eyes into what's cool and what's not. I look at this car now and I think, do you know what? Now that we're in a world of SUVs, of, you know, Qashqai killed the car, I kind of look at these and think, do you know what? That's really cool. And I don't think there's any Citroens out there that you look at, maybe the C1, oh, it just looks like a little blob, but there's no cars that you look at from Citroen and go, God, what a horrible looking car. What were they thinking, you know? All of them have gone, yeah, okay. Even that new Cactus, now have you seen that C4 Cactus with like rubber all down the sides? I just think that's such a great idea. Cool looking thing. Bit of a Citroen fan, I think. With all that being said, I would now bump this up potentially to quite a heady 7 out of 10 for styling points. What do you think? Let me know. Let me know if you think it's a 7 or if it's higher or if it's lower.
What to do with that, like?
I don't know. We're back.
Right.
Back. Made it in one piece.
I've got to say, for a car that's only got 110 brake horsepower, doesn't hang about.
It's alright, you know, it's good.
She goes alright, doesn't she?
Dead impressed with it so far. From the you know, the drive wasn't that revealing because the traffic was crazy and
The weather was crazy.
the weather was crazy. I only got to do one handbrake turn, which is just not ideal at all, is it? But
No, but it was a good handbrake too.
it was a good handbrake turn. The inner lobe came out in me. But I really like it. There's not a lot wrong with this car. It just needs a bit of fettling here and there, you know. Probably a day's worth of stuff. So, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it.
So after many evenings of hunting eBay, we have finally tracked down our Daihatsu Copen.
Yeah, the eBay Super Snipers.
Yeah, Ben is the best eBay I think I've ever met. So, what have we got? 660cc of turbo-powered Fury.
Fast car.
850 kilos in weight.
Nice.
So I think that's going to be quite an even little match for your little Citroen.
My rally car.
Your rally car.
I think Citroen's going to walk all over it, to be honest.
No, it's not.
Yeah, definitely. So I've got 300 kilograms more.
Yeah.
Plus me. But I've got about, what is it, 200 horsepower more?
200. Try 10.
No, so you've got 67, I've got 110, so 43 horsepower more?
Maybe.
Eat my dust!
Nah, mate. I've got adjustable weight distribution because I've got a collapsible hardtop roof, so if that doesn't get me some extra traction in the corners, I don't know what will.
Nice, yeah. Is that your game plan?
It's worth a shot, isn't it?
I love it. So we are currently 15 miles away and we are gonna, is it Burnley?
Burnley.
Yep, Burnley.
Up north.
Up north. It's not taking us long, it's probably an hour and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
We're going to get there, pick this thing up, and then we'll show you guys. Once we've got it, we'll show you guys, and you can see what you think of it. You know, you can see if you like it, and then we'll fly back to sunny Cheshire. We've got it. Look, me for scale.
What a beast.
Oh, I think that's filler. Have a look at some of these marks here.
Don't look at this a bit.
So, we've got rust, okay. Oh, there's a little bit more rust. Oops.
Oh no.
Oh dear. Sorry about that.
Gee, that's had a questionable repair.
Yeah, questionable repair there.
It's full of filler.
I think what we might do, Rob, is do another questionable repair on it.
Yeah. Well, I've got to keep in keeping with the car's current state, haven't we?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we don't want to make it too nice, do we?
Go faster dints.
Yeah, but, you know, if you squint, look at the wheels.
Stand 10 metres away, the wheels are beautiful.
Proper Aussies. Look at these tyres, they're like brand new.
All match as well, Hancocks all round.
That is pretty good. I like it.
It's got to be advantageous for the track, that, isn't it? Having full matching tyres.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're going to walk this.
Yeah.
Why isn't it working?
I know, I've got like a red light on the dash.
You've got to make sure that, like all good convertibles, that this is in the right place. Is that supposed to be over here?
Yeah, oh, that was it, wasn't it? So that's
nice.
clipped into there. There we go.
Yeah,
right.
shut this, look. Oh,
It should pull itself in.
oh nice! Electric soft touch closing.
Right there. Unlocks that.
Whoa, here we go. Oh my god, it's a transformer. Now that is something special. Look at that. In such a small package, how does it do it?
Beautiful. How do I look?
What's this?
This is a little DAB thing, so
Wow.
I've actually got some tunes. I'm not even going to try and mess around with it.
It's got stereo. Look at the gear knob.
Yeah, Momo. Even got a Momo wheel as well.
Oh my god, this
That's
is
got to be an
really
extra 10
cool.
brake horsepower for the truck.
Dials.
Look at that, 10,000 RPM on the rev
No
counter.
way. I can't wait to bend it round 10,000 RPM.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
I like it.
The interior reminds me slightly of MX-5 inspiration, and exactly the same air vents.
Oh, yeah, that's
No
right.
steering
Yeah.
wheels, quite popular in the MX-5 world as well.
Yeah.
Even sure the latches are the same as the
They look
MX-5.
almost identical, don't
They
they?
do, yeah. Wonder where they got them from.
Wow, this is great. What a fantastic buy. I mean, there's a couple of little... I've got free ice scraper. A couple of little rusty bits, so we'll just sand those down and maybe... You know, they're
Nice
good.
classic race livery, isn't it? But yeah, she's not bad for under £1,000, is she?
No, can't complain. MOT till November, so it doesn't even matter about the rust.
So here we are, we've picked up the Copen, and yeah, the cabin is a nice place to be, I've got to say. But boy, is this thing gutless. I'm really starting to panic now because I think that Citroen Benz has got quite a bit more poke. Not entirely sure everything's running quite right under the engine. It's you can feel the turbo spool, but it doesn't start till about 4,500 RPM, which is quite high for an engine at this capacity. So yeah, we'll drive her home now and see what she's like. But first impression, she's, you know, a bit wallowy on the road as well, but it's all good fun. Roof works, so that's an added bonus. It's just so gutless. I mean, watch this now. So Ben's in front of me in the Passat. We're in 5th gear. Just drop it into 3rd. Now screaming. 7,000 RPM. 70 miles an hour. Jeez. So this is known as a K car, which was Japanese market-specific vehicle for cities in Japan. So they have quite strict rules around them. They've got to be under 700cc in engine size, they've got to be tiny to fit through busy, crowded Japanese streets, and definitely fits that bill. But surprisingly quite spacious in here though. Not a bad little cabin to be, I've got to say. Right, so we're now on the M66 coming back from Burnley. I'm coming up a hill. I've got my foot to the floor and I am losing speed. It is pretty bad. I'm gonna have to like drop into 3rd gear. Can you hear that? That is now screaming at 6,500 RPM just to keep up pace on the hill. Oh, sorry, Mr. BMW driver. See, I've mainly driven this thing down motorways so far, but one thing I can tell you is this car is tiny, and it feels tiny on the road. All these big SUVs flying past me. You know, it looks a bit like a toy, I'm not going to lie. I do feel like noddy driving around in it, but I like it. The cabin is a nice place to sit. A bit of wind noise coming from like all the roof and window joints here, but convertible life, I'm used to it. I've had them for years. It doesn't faze me in the slightest. I would be driving home with the roof down now, but the only problem is I've got to talk to you guys, and with the roof down, it's just impossible. You wouldn't hear a thing that I would say. But hey ho, she's moving along quite nicely now, got to say. Pretty happy with this now. It's growing on me. It's definitely a grower, this car. Shame the bodywork's so ropey, isn't it? It's got to bend to get the filler out on this, I think. Work is magic. Okay, so we're finally off the motorway. Let's see what this thing can do. 8,000 RPM rev limit, liking that. Still gutless, and I doubt it would pull the skin off a rice pudding, this thing. Oh man.
Yeah, I think Bob's right. It's a bit gutless. Both cars back at the workshop.
What a machine, eh?
You pleased with it?
Ish. The track will tell, won't it? How well this fares.
I think what we have discovered initially is that for £1,000 you're not getting good bodywork.
Yeah, definitely.
On either of these things, you know.
Yeah, but yours is French as well. I mean, who buys French cars?
That's true, yeah. Under £1,000.
Yeah.
You'd have to be mad.
Yeah, definitely.
Fortunately,
It's just asking for trouble. I mean, £1,000 French cars. I'm going to put money on the fact there is an electrical issue with this before we get to the track.
Yeah, nice, I'll take that bet. I think though, like, your car mechanically and everything seems to work. I have just given it a quick drive and it did seem great, whereas the mechanicals of mine are a bit fucked, aren't they? But
I don't suppose you found the power, did you?
yeah, it's between 3,500 and 3,541 RPM. It's that little 41 revolutions per minute there, you can really feel it go.
Yeah. I quite agree with that. It's going to be a strange old track day, I think, in this.
I'm going to walk it, yeah, in this rally car. My rally car is going to absolutely demolish that. And you could potentially put that inside it. I can't believe the size of the thing. The interesting thing with that, though, is I can fit in it, which is pretty mad, isn't it?
No. They're both red as well, so that's got to equate for an extra 10 brake horsepower.
We've not done that on purpose either.
But the wheels on this Copen, I mean, they are gorgeous. They are. I think they're the best part of the car, to be honest.
The more I look at it, the worse the paintwork gets, though.
Yeah. There's been some questionable bodywork to get this through the past couple of MOTs, I'm not going to lie. We can sort that out, though.
Yeah, maybe. What size is that? Why is it wet? Yeah.
Oil.
Could just be rain.
Maybe.
Head gasket.
When's rain smell like oil?
But yeah, so they're both back now, and I think what we need to do is get them into the workshop, get them up in the air, and see realistically what we've got here. Have we got two absolute bins, or are these going to make quite a fun track day? Car number one, and I think we can all probably agree that it's going to be car number one on the racetrack as well. It's a rally car. So the first thing I noticed when I jacked it up is that these jacking points are mullered. Well, I don't even think they're jacking points, to be honest. I think the jacking points there, but these big sections here have seen better days. But they're all right, you know, whatever. It's got MOT, I'm not bothered. Rest of the car, decent shape. That tyre's amazing. That tyre's amazing. Exhaust seems to be held on. As good as it's going to get. Look at those tie wraps there. Industry standard. Everything else looks good. Brake lines and everything you'd expect, because this is a well-built Citroen. French cars are the best. Look at all these pipes. Everything's good. And this is where it starts to get a little bit less good. So we are oily. Everywhere you look, oil. So I think there's an oil leak. As well as the oil leak, we've also got the gear linkage problem, which first is over here, second's over there, third's down here, fourth, seventh, fifth has gone home. So I need to try and sort that as well. Before I do that though, and before we get stuck into cleaning this engine up trying to find that oil leak, I just want to check brake pads, you know, the boring stuff like that. Just make sure it's going to survive a track day and driving to and from as best as I can. Who knows what's going to happen. That tyre's okay and that tyre's okay. They might not be when we get back, but they're okay for now. So yeah, let's get stuck in. I was just in here doing all like wheel bearings and brake pads and stuff, which they all look like new, but what's all this about like? Classic sort of French design that, I think, isn't it? Interesting. Look at all these tie wraps here as well. Industry standard, I absolutely love it. This looks like a car that I have worked on in the past. Okay, I might get a little spanner on these. Doesn't this thing look nice as well? This is after the first Tower of Power. I sort of brought it back and gave it a good spit shine. And yeah, she's looking mightily loved. Really nice thing. Inside this incredibly well engineered French rally car, that's first. It's miles away from where it's supposed to be, and the gears are not selectable easily. Fifth is, I don't know, a bit of a myth. So something's up with that. Now when I bought it, the bloke said, this is in the boot, the gears don't work very well. Now that looks like where your gear selector things bolt to, and I'm hoping it was just forgotten about and not put back on, and it's not broken or anything, and we just have to reinstall it. But to do that, obviously we've got to remove quite a bit of stuff from the engine bay. All this stuff here, in fact. Okay. Now I can see this oil around here. It's a bit of a weird setup on this. Looks like you've got your head and then you've got like a secondary thing here, and then you've got your rocker cover. I'm hoping it's leaking from the rocker cover gasket there, because that's where the oil's up to, not below it. It'd be annoying if it's that one there, because I'm not quite sure what this is. Need to do a bit of investigation. But yeah, I'm going to clean it all up and we'll run it and we'll see if we can see any oil coming out the sides, you know. This would be a bit of a worldie if it does end up to actually be the rocker cover that's leaking, or the rocker covers. There's two on this by the looks of it. So, you know, because that's not a hard job. And look, you can see it is swimming in there, so it's got potential. Anyway, I'm going to clean this up now as best I can, and I'm going to run it, and I'm going to keep my eye on this and see if I can see any weeping. Everything was just in like hand tight, you know, so so sketchy. Now, so oil wise, I've just been looking along here where I've cleaned, and the oil's coming back straight away. Now, I was pretty confident it would be the rocker cover anyway, because oil flows down, doesn't flow up, you know, when it's leaking. So I've ordered a couple of rocker covers. We'll get those fitted tomorrow when they arrive. Now, down here is the gear linkage. See this white block thing there? Now, I've just pulled that out, and it was just held in by hand. Everything seems a bit loose. I think this is broken. I'm going to try and unbolt this now, pull it out and compare it to the other one, and just sort of see what the crack is, because it was actually in the right place, just doesn't work. So let's have a look. So I'm glad Rob's not here to see this, but I'm going to try and put you up there and see if you can see it properly. But can you see there's like a bolt there, just like not even in, bolt missing from the top. It's pretty bad, you know. I mean, that's pretty bad. I've also cleaned all the sump plug up, and I'm just going to keep my eye on that, see if we get any wet coming out of that, and I'll put a new washer on it. And I'm going to go around and just sort of just spanner check all these bolts, I think, in the gearbox, because it just looks like the roughest clutch change in the world. Works though. This is the one that came off, and this was in the boot. I didn't realise, I thought that, I was hoping they'd just forgotten to put that on and the cables were just flopping around with a tie wrapped them on or something. Now this one, you can see a couple of bits have snapped off it. So I find it hard to believe that that's causing all of our gear shift problems though, because the cables were still held in the right place. Don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this back together and I'm going to try it and we'll see how it feels, and if not we'll have to do a little bit more digging. So that's all nicely buttoned up down there. They put little rubber rings around it to try and hold it in place, but obviously the new one came with new clips, so that's all good. Let's see if it works. Okay, squeeze in. Oh, that gear shift position looks superb already, so that's great news. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear. That is, that's a dream. We've got reverse. Oh, we've got reverse as well. Brilliant. So, job done. That was a big job on the Citroen as well, so I'm glad that's boxed off. That was good, wasn't it? Didn't take too long. And we had the part. Brilliant. I quite like this car now. I've got to put all that back inside the engine bay, but a bit more properly than the last guy, you know. Only a little bit, mind. Rocker cover gaskets are on their way. They'll be here tomorrow, so I'll get those fitted, and hopefully that's the oil leak sorted as well. I just want to check all the levels of stuff, make sure the water, oil, everything's good. Get it out, have a good tidy up, and then potentially it's time to get the Copen in. Now Rob is coming down later because we are having some problems with that Copen, but I'll tell you about those when we've got it inside. Rob's turned up. It is now time to get stuck into this Copen, but we need to have a little bit of chat about it first.
Yeah, so it looks like we've bought quite a lemon here, doesn't it?
Yeah. When we picked it up, as you saw a moment ago, it was like gutless, and then we were like, right, okay. So for the last few days, we've been trying some stuff, you know, sort of like greasing up the turbo actuator and things, and then putting some different fuel in it. And I've been driving it, and we're just
driving it. You've been ragging the fucking arse off it.
Yeah, trying to explode. Show us the fault or work.
He's trying to jeopardise my chances. That's the real quality here.
It's done nothing. It's still a bit. I think it's getting better though.
Yeah, well that's promising.
So it's if you don't get the turbo spooling, it will do one spool. So if you tootle out up to 2,000 RPM in first, in second, if you go in third,
yeah,
you can get the turbo work all the way up then. But it's only once until you stop and let the turbo go back down again, lose all its pressure.
Yeah. When I drove it back, I did notice it was very laggy. You really had to be high up the rev range before you could feel the turbo do anything.
Yeah. But I've noticed it's coming in and going out all throughout the rev range. So it'll you'll have 1,000 of boost there, then it dies, and then you go up a bit more, and it'll have another 1,000 of boost. So it's all over the place.
Yeah.
So today I priced up Turbo Newydd, which is new turbo in Welsh, and it was 700 quid plus VAT. I phoned up a couple of guys to repair the turbo that we've got, and they said it's not going to be any cheaper than that as it is. And the reason being is because this is such a rare car. Parts are like rocking horse poo. So
yeah,
it's just, and they said that's if we can repair it, you know. So it's going down the repair route. I don't think it's an option.
No. When I looked online, the only place I could find a new turbo was in Japan.
Yeah.
So that goes to tell you quite a lot. It was a car designed for the Japanese market. You can get parts in abundance from Japan.
Yeah, if you speak Japanese.
Yeah. but getting parts from Japan over here is not a cheap activity.
No. And, you know, the car's done 83,000 miles. The turbo should not have gone on it. There's supposed to be a reliable little car, really. We've had a good look through all of the forums and the owners' clubs, and again, there's not a lot of this knocking about online because they're not very common cars. But
found one user forum, and that's it.
That's it. And there's not like they've not said that it's a common problem. They've not said, oh, this happens quite often. You've got there's just not really any sort of clues as to what it could be. So we've been trying to diagnose it ourselves and try and find out if it's not the turbo, could it be something else? Could it be wastegate related, or could it be fueling related? Could it be overfueling, underfueling? Could it be cutting off? You know, spark. There's a lot of people say, oh, spark plug is dead. We've taken the spark plugs out. We've measured the tip of them because they're these fancy spark plugs. We've done all this sort of stuff. It's not any of that essentially, you know.
Spark plugs look good, and the condition of the spark plugs looks like the engine's running really healthily as well. So looks like we've got a good burn in the cylinder. That's promising. But new problems means one thing: new tools. So then what every good man likes to do: get on eBay, get a good tool bargain.
So you can buy the shanked cars on eBay, but you can also buy the tools to fix them with.
So got all out and bought ourselves a fancy, nice little hand vac gauge. And now today's job is going to be to delve into the engine, just give the vac system a real good check over, make sure all the solenoids and stuff are actuating properly. I'm still a little bit on the side of, I think that turbo actuator could be the root cause of the issue here, so got the tools to do the diagnostics.
Yeah, and it's going to help us look for any, you know, boost leaks, vac leaks, anything like that. But the thing is, because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, it's kind of not really going to be that anyway, so we're hoping it's going to find us.
And the more frustrating thing is, it won't throw a permanent engine light as well.
Yeah, if you keep your foot down when there's, when it's, you know...
high load.
Well, yeah, high load, and you put in fourth all the way, it does a flashing engine management light, and then it goes away again. And it doesn't store anything, so we can't read anything. It's not telling us what it is. And we've tried disconnecting various sensors and things to try and, you know, see what's what, and it's not doing anything. So we're going to have a bit of a play with this, and then fingers crossed we can get it to work. Because, well, we haven't even looked underneath this thing yet, and it's rusty on all four corners in a bad way. If it, you know, it could be knackered underneath. We just haven't looked at the rest of the car.
I hope not. Given how well it drives, I'm hoping it's pretty good underneath.
Yeah. Do you think before we get stuck into that, maybe we should get up on the ramp and have a look?
Don't know. Oh, decisions.
Right, let's do that. Let's have a go. She's up in the air, and the lift didn't go through anything.
It's reassuring, isn't it?
Look at these cells. Is that welding? No, I don't think it is. Look how good that is. That's been welded. That's been welded.
Oh,
but,
yes.
I mean, that's all right, that. Look how solid it is. I might be amazed. I might be coming round. Look at that. I was expecting that sill to be made of dust. I really was. So loads of welding here, look. Have you seen all this? God, patches on patches, great.
You worked on this before.
Sight alright, but I tell you what, Bob, that is all right, isn't it?
To be fair, yeah. Well, we knew when we looked at the MOT history it was probably going to be quite questionable under here, didn't we? But
I don't think that's very questionable at all.
Professional repair if ever I saw one.
Oh yes, love that. Perfect. Look at these twin exhausts.
Yeah, boy.
Bloody hell, good for shooting peas.
Yeah.
Notice. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking for holes and there ain't none. So I mean that's spurred me on.
Yeah. Good.
For, you know, potentially, you know, we could carry on with this thing and even attempt to repaint those arches and.
Oh, look at the oil filter. Oh, it's going to be fun to get.
Where is it?
Right in that little hidey hole.
Oh my God, you're joking. Well, that's why the turbo's gone, because nobody's ever changed the oil.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
See the turbo there. Doesn't look too shabby. A couple of rusty lines, but that shouldn't aid or shouldn't impact any performance.
Interesting, okay. Right.
Got a small
Let's get stuck in.
intercooler is. It's like a baby. Oh, cute little intercooler.
It's like an intercooler for your washing machine, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Let's get it down on the ground again. Together. We did find a couple of loose bits on the low pressure side, so that's interesting, but not very interesting. This thing here, there's a little valve in there that takes boost away and all this sort of stuff, and yeah, I don't know what it does. Can't remember. That we've cleaned out and made sure that it's working by connecting a little 12-volt supply up to that, and then making sure that it's actuating, and it is. So we're going to test it now, and we've checked for sort of various other vac leaks and things, and it all seems okay. And the turbo, we've looked down the turbo with a mirror and given it a feel, and it's free, and I don't know, dead strange. Anyway, let's go for a spin. So that did absolutely nothing. So next protocol is this mess here, which we've got a diagram for, and we're going to try and make sure all our vac lines are going to exactly the right place, because there's something, it's so annoying. It feels like it's almost there, but it's just not getting its full amount of power.
Yeah. And we've had a quick look at these hoses in comparison to that diagram, and it's not quite right. So now we're going to sort it.
Yeah. The incredible news is we've just managed to get 15 seconds to 60 out of this, which is twice as good as we had before. So we think that was potentially the culprit, which is amazing. But we've come back because it's still not perfect. We noticed it was a bit loose down here, so we've just redone these, a couple of other little bits. We've now hooked up this boost gauge, which does this. And in the car, I've got my Autel, which I can get live boost data. So we're going to have the live data from the ECU and the real data from the boost gauge. And we're going to go for a little spin. And we're going to see what it's saying and see if we can get some 0 to 60s out of it. Packed in like sardines. Yeah. I don't think we're not going to do the 0 to 60 ones for the board now, because there's just 2 of us in this car, and I think that would make a huge amount of difference.
Yeah, definitely. I would fully on board with that.
So we'll do that on the track day. Right then, let's go. Have you got enough things in your hand?
There we go. We've got a stopwatch. Ooh.
Sorry, pressed into the percent.
So we want live data. So when we initially had a look at this, we were seeing some strange goings on with the amount of boost pressure we were seeing on the map sensor. So now we're just going to keep an eye on it.
You're like a gauge cluster there, aren't you?
Yeah, it's mint, isn't it? On your marks, get set, go! Wheel spin.
Wheel spin in second then, did you feel it?
Power!
And stop.
16.69 seconds.
Oh, a couple of fat lads.
Yeah. It's going to be even worse on the way back with a kebab in it. But yeah, look at that. Holding boost beautifully now.
So I've put my foot to the floor now in 4th, and it's pulling up a hill. And it's pulling up the hill really well. That is, we've never had power like this before.
No.
Ah!
We're going to die!
That's amazing. That is amazing. I would call that one, I would call that fixed.
I would call that fixed. Boosh.
We fixed a car.
Yeah. Hey.
So we're driving back now from picking up our kebab. And she goes like the clappers.
Or 60 already.
Fantastic, great stuff. So a job well done for today. It's been a busy day on the spanners. 2 cars prepped, ready for the track day, and we'll get some scores on the board.
Today is the day. It is the first road trip out for the Tower and Power.
Our train is here.
The chariot.
Yeah, the trusty Passat, which is going to be our locker for the day, because we've got a lot of gear with us, you know, so we're going to take that. We've got the Copen on the trailer because it weighs the least. And then we've got the beautiful C4.
Both cleaned up a treat, I've got to say. They're going to look horrible by the end of the day, but
yeah,
it's going to be worth it.
Hopefully so. I mean, you know, we've got rocker covers done on that, gearbox sorted on that, that's ready to go. And the Copen, I did make a little promise to Rob. If we sorted the engine, I would paint the car. And if you've looked on the channel and you've seen the videos that have been out recently, you might have seen the time lapse of me sorting all those big nasty rust holes. It's been a questionable repair, I'm not gonna lie. There's a little bit of stuff where the holes were, you know, not much in the way of metal, but don't they look good?
They fucking do.
So yeah, save that car for a few more years yet.
Yep.
Engine's running like a dream.
Still over the moon with that fix. I was really kind of hedging my bets that we were putting a new turbo on that.
Yeah, and that, you know, we were so worried it was going to be like, we haven't got like 800 quid to spend on a turbo. It was going to be, and we didn't even know if the turbo would have then fixed it. You know what I mean?
I know, thank God for diagnostics.
Yeah. So we are ready to go. We've got a 3-hour drive ahead of us to get to Cadwell now. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning. Cadwell is the evening session, so we've got plenty of time to get there, get set up, make sure the cars are okay and all that sort of stuff. Actually, just before we go, I just wanted to show you this fix, because when we were driving the car, the gear knob fell off.
And you can see, look in there, that has been bodged.
Yeah,
It is full of araldite or something.
So when we got it this morning, we thought, oh Christ, what are we going to do about gear knob? What a pain. And then credit to Rob, this is his idea.
Found a golf ball lying around the workshop. I was like, that'll do. So out came the drill, and that ain't going nowhere. You could probably lift this car up off that.
Little American flag as well. We know how well the Japanese and the Americans get on.
Shame we didn't have a JDM one, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, for next time.
How smart. Nice, nice problem solved. And we've got our stopwatches ready to get our 0 to 60s. We'll do the Copen when we're there, and we'll hopefully do some C4 on the way.
I've got a 3-hour drive in Ben's car for this little challenge, so get to suss it out a little bit. First impressions are, it's pretty cool. I quite like all the digital dash and stuff. It's very, very Citroen, and the steering wheel is turbo Citroen. They've always done like quirky stuff with their steering wheel. Fixed airbag, spokes move around it. It's nice, gotta say. I haven't had a chance to open this thing up yet, so be interesting to see how well this is going to fare against my little Copen. Now we've got all the engine fixed and she's running nicely, I think these are going to be quite evenly matched around track, you know. Ben will think otherwise, but my car weighs like as much as a crisp packet. This thing is quite heavy, it's quite wallowy. Bring it on. Well, Citroen, doing all right here. Here he is. Doesn't know where he's going. What happened there then?
Well, why did they have two exits right next to each other? What's the point in that?
One goes like to Liverpool, the other goes to Manchester.
So I went to Liverpool then.
Yeah.
What a nightmare though. I couldn't just like, and then you're stuck on it then for like ages, aren't you?
I know, yeah.
You've got to go round, do a whole loop.
Wounded, Mum.
How's everything looking here? Quick strap check. Oh, nice.
She ain't going nowhere, is she?
She ain't going nowhere. Oh, how's the French thing?
Beautiful. No aircon, which on a day like today is starting to get really tiring.
Yeah, yeah. Have you heard any of the drive shafts clicking?
Nothing yet.
Right, okay.
I've been pumping the tunes though, so yeah, man, just going sweet.
Should we make use of the facilities? Like?
Damn right, I am starving and I still need a coffee.
I'll lock the car up and let's go.
Okay. That's my baby. So we're on the M62 at a standstill. Don't you just love British motorways? I can't remember the last time I did a journey down a motorway. I just managed to get to my destination without hitting a traffic jam on a motorway. I can hate them. Oh, 10 mile an hour. It's the fastest we've been in quite a while. I bet Ben's fuming in front. I can guarantee he's having a rant about something.
This is the bit they don't tell you about, isn't it? In like sort of, you know, when you're watching Top Gear and things like that, it's like we've been sat in traffic for ages now. Just dead bored, like. It's the bits in between the fun bits, you know. Nothing's happening in these roadworks anyway. They're not doing anything. Why can't we use that lane? There's no one there. Daft. Rob's behind me. Bet he's sick of looking at the back of this trailer now.
Bored, 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 bored.
Keep playing this game to keep myself entertained in this traffic. Rob told me earlier that the brake lights have stopped working on the trailer. Still haven't replaced some of those LED things that I got about 6 months ago, but it's on the to-do list, you know. But because they don't work, every now and then I just sort of slam on the brakes and just watch in my rearview mirror as Rob shits himself and then he crashes into the back of me.
Out where time seems to fade, where your maps are no the story of where you've been. Travel, beat up, warning with settled soul. Trust your gut, you have earned at least that. Age has proven to be kind. Age has proven to be kind. Love heart is not in vain. Scarred earned by the good fight. Weathered skin from the sun. We're proud you have lived well. Mud on your boots tell the story of where you've been. Travel, beat up, warning with settled soul. Trust your gut, you have earned at least that. Age has proven to be kind.
How was the drive?
Age has proven to be kind. Age has
It loves it.
Debatable.
I'm going to retire this car soon and I'm going to let it live inside in the house with me. So it dies.
It's not going to fit in your new house, mate. Sorry to tell you.
That's true actually, yeah, but what a thing.
Bigger than your new house. It is actually, yeah.
We've made it to Cadwell Park.
Weather is beautiful.
What a great day compared to the day when we picked up the bloody Citroen.
Oh yeah, that was a fun day, wasn't it? In the pissing down rain.
This is amazing, this is like ideal. The sun's obviously evening, it's going to be interesting as the sun gets low on the track, that's going to be something that I'm not used to. I've not really driven on an evening track day before, so...
Never done a track day full stop, so you could be in for a treat today when I go and bin it.
Car's made it perfectly, you know this one was on a trailer so I expected it to, but Citroen drive okay?
Yeah, didn't miss a beat, just no aircon, really infuriating, but
sad times.
never mind, didn't even bring any shorts. Bad times indeed. But yeah, as paddock's looking okay, isn't it? There's a few nice cars floating around, but
yeah, a few kit cars and stuff. We'll get a little look at these on track. A couple of Caterhams, but that can't be helped, can it?
no. I think the one that's caught my eye the most is that Ford Puma down there.
There's two Pumas, isn't there?
Yeah.
One of them looks a bit
It's all right,
four-wheel drivey, doesn't it? Which is
Yeah.
interesting. That yellow one.
Definitely got straight cut gears on it when it rolled past for scrutineering.
Nice.
It was winding its head up.
Yeah.
Proper job.
So we've got about 20 minutes before the sighting laps, so we're just going to make sure we're okay. We're going to go and do a few laps, make sure we're both happy and everything's good, the cars are good. We'll come back in and you can come for a spin as well, see what you think.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm going to be timing my laps later on so we can use them for the board, and we'll do some maths to see how they stack up against the only other car on there, the 924.
We're going to have to do a bit of head-to-head as well. You're probably going to absolutely trounce me.
We can't race, man. It's a track day, you know.
But quickest lap time. You can
So
easily compare them after a round.
Bob's got Harry's lap timer as well, so he's going to be timing his. So looking forward to that. There you go. It's done. 2.5.
Yeah, boy.
Right, 2.5 bar in each tyre.
Size is looking a little bit past its best,
Yeah, it's a bit cracked in it. Just watch out for the curbs, I think.
You got spare?
I haven't looked.
Let's go and have a look.
Don't look, it's bad luck, innit? So what if we haven't got a spare? Why didn't you tell me to check?
You're the one that's been freaking off all week, so
Go on, have a look then.
at least if you've got spare, you've got hope and
Well,
chances.
but the only thing I thought was we didn't do it.
Oh, yeah! Look at that.
Yeah, you've got any fucking air in it. Oh, nice!
You've got a compressor in your hand anyway.
Yeah, but
It's all right.
hold it. But the only thing I was thinking, the reason I didn't check for a spare was that if it was during the day, we could have just gone and got a tyre, couldn't we? But I forgot, nowhere's going to be open at 7 o'clock at night, is it?
No. Good job we got a spare then, isn't it?
Good, yeah, good job.
You know, you can
thought
give
about that ahead.
Give it 110% now on that truck.
Straight over the sausage curves, I think, you know. Bounce it. Bounce it around the cut. Achieve the apex.
Yeah, boy.
Don't think he's going to have much trouble here, do you?
Beautiful. Look forward to seeing it out there. Have a good one. If we get air over the mountain,
We're both past noise check. So we should be alright to drive. Is that a Lotus Elan? I've told Rob he doesn't need to wear his helmet to go to the toilet.
You told me it did, you prick.
Checking it fits. Is it alright? Is it good?
It's all good, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
superb.
purchased at the weekend, so first outing.
Nice. My hair's my helmet, so I'm just going to go like this.
Big enough, innit? Ben's head is so big, he can't get a helmet.
That's how
Don't
it,
do him in your size.
that's how it custom made. I've just got back after my first sort of 3-4 laps, just to sort of see how things going. It feels potentially a little bit unreliable, but it's nothing's happened yet, so whatever. Just going to wait for Rob to come back in. He's still out there having fun.
Oh boy. She fucking screams on track. You've honestly got to keep it between like 6,000 and 8,000 RPM to stand a chance of doing anything.
Yeah, Citroen's feels like unreliable, yeah.
Yeah?
Lots of noises, sounds like it's potentially going to fail at any moment, but it's fine. Just drive it until it does.
This thing is a hoot.
Is it good?
I've been literally between 6,000 and 8,000 RPM most of the way around the track. I've had to pull over for pretty much everyone on the track because she's a bit slow.
Absolutely love it.
She's slow, but it's brilliant. You barely need to use the brakes off. Hard to work back.
So good. I was driving up before and I thought you were already here until I saw Biffa written on the side.
Yeah, you can see the similarities. Either of them could be a bit of a bin, really.
Great stuff. Well,
Yeah.
I think we should get the cameras mounted and we'll take you guys out with us, you know?
Yeah, let's do this.
Right, I can't hear you now, my helmet's on, so if you're going to say anything, you have to speak up. And let's see if this Citroen stays in one piece. Long enough to get a better lap time than Rob, you know?
So we've been out, we've had a bit of a play, just get used to the car and find the limits. Haven't done much of that yet. This car's pretty slow.
Now, before we get onto the track, it's worth mentioning that the car itself is extremely quiet, as in engine, drivetrain, everything, until something knocks and bangs, and then it's very loud. So I'm not getting, and the steering wheels, I might as well be steering it with a handle like this. So the problem I've got is I don't know if anything's awry until we've flown off into a ditch or something, you know? Let's go.
Really having some fun around these asses before you really start getting a little slide on the car. Really got to work the power to try and get this thing to go fast, and it's not going very fast.
'83, '84, '85. Probably take that corner flat out, and this one really bogs down there, and this one. Whoa. Nice. Not loads of traffic so far as well, which is good. In true French fashion as well, it's really nice and predictable. Like the back end sort of flies round quite a bit, hops round a touch, which is interesting because it's a lot bigger than stuff like Clios and Saxos and 106s. It's much, much bigger and heavier. Into second for the jump. Oh, don't know if we got any air, I don't think so.
Determined to try and get air over the mountain by the end of this session. Doubt it's going to happen, but we can try, can't we?
Make those tyres work for their dinner.
So there we go, topped out 80 mile an hour again. Don't think we can get any more speed out of this car today.
Does go around corners well. Feels quite flat, even though it's so high up, it's so tall. It does feel quite flat, I like it a lot. Just lifted off slightly again. I probably don't have to lift off at all, but I don't know if I'm that brave yet. This one, definitely got to scrub some speed off and then back on it. Oh yes, love that. Really good. Let's try and brake a little bit later here.
Could be on for a nice little lap here. It's felt quite pacey in comparison to some of my earlier efforts. Really starting to find the kind of limits of the car now. Oops, hit the red limiter. It's not what we want to be doing. She is loving this.
No way, sausage. This corner's mine. Love it.
Oh, we're even catching someone now. This is a first.
Thought they're supposed to be fast that type car. Come on. Oh, there he goes.
Oh my god, we've overtaken someone.
110 horsepower. I don't need any more. This is fine. You go. Have fun. Just lifted off ever so slightly, getting a bit quicker through that corner. Oh, almost kept my foot in all the way then, but did bottle it. Oh, back end going outside. There's Rob. You can see Rob on the other side.
Every lap we do just builds confidence, man. Try this corner in second and see what happens. Not a lot of difference, really. Just keep your foot planted to the car.
Oh yes.
Like it.
Maybe got a little bit carried away there. It's just too much fun, this car, isn't it?
Oh, beautiful. That felt fast. Faster than I've done previously, should I say.
Oh, what did that say then? Did you read it? It's warning me of something. I think it might have said engine oil pressure. It's probably just getting a bit hot. Keeping my eye on the temperature gauge and it seems fine. That is water temperature though, but if that's okay, everything else should be okay. Decided he's no match for the mighty C4, which is completely understandable, isn't it, really? Right, one more lap and then we'll head in. See how Bob's done. Engine oil pressure too low, but only for a second. And then it's okay. That's fine. I can deal with that. Completely pinned, completely flat out. Oh, looks like some sort of Land Rover Discovery here. I'll let him go past, I don't think he saw me. What was that? Is that a Jeep Wrangler? Right, in we go. Let's let everything cool down. Well, there's Rob. Oh no, it's not. It's a bin. Well, there's Rob. Oh, it's not. It's a bin.
75.
Here's Rob. Oh no, sorry. There's Rob. She's still in one piece. That's a good sign. And by she, I mean Rob. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good man. Really starting to have a bit of fun that time. Slowly build her up, slide him round.
Got some warmth in them.
Yep.
Oh, hot. Yeah, we should be dropping a few PSIs out of these, but
Yeah, I think so.
who can be asked doing that?
Great fun that thing. Just, it's not snappy at all. If it starts sliding, it's just progressive, and because it's so slow, you can just
Love it. So
80
good.
mile an hour around this track is the fastest I've had out of this car.
Nice. Very cool.
You can get any faster out of it, shake your hand.
I mean, challenge accepted.
Yeah.
If that's only getting to 80, then that's fair. This is, I think I've had 90 maybe. So, I don't know, potentially got it in the bag here, guys.
Better session that one, not as much traffic.
No, yeah, hardly any traffic, really good. I think we should go out again, do a swap cars.
Can do, yeah. Should we mix it up a bit?
Yeah, just go easy on her, right? She's
Likewise. I know what you're like, you animal.
So, first issue, before we've even started her up, my fucking head keeps hitting the roof. Can I do anything with this chair? Oh dear. I'm gonna have to drive with my head to the left. It's my own fault for being so humongous. Right, let's see what this little Daihatsu can do.
Oh, listen to that. Definitely got a supercharger hiding under there. So it's going to be interesting to see how this thing drives in comparison to the Copen. Definitely got a bit more grip in the corners about it. So a bit more power than the Copen as well, you can feel already. Brakes are keener as well. Although I didn't have to use them much in the Copen. That's cool. Dash lights up red when you hit the limiter. Completely different driving experience from the other one, that's for sure. I've got lower profile and bigger tyres here. Oh, I was keen on the brakes. She brakes well.
Oh, that's really annoying. My head is wedged into the roof. Oh well. And I can't lower the roof down and do it roofless because I've got an open-faced helmet. My face is open.
So yeah, I definitely think I'm preferring the Copen. I don't know if it's just because I found my groove with the Copen and we're still learning a little bit with this thing. I do like you can go lighter on the brakes though.
And we're away in the turbo. Oh yes. Oh, she feels fast. Flat out through there. Yeah, it's definitely not as quick as the Citroen. Flat out up here, foot to the floor. Flat out through there. It's a lot of fun though. Almost Tokyo drifting on that corner. These tyres are not very good. Come on Caterham, do it if you're going to do it, because I'm not slowing down. What's he braking for? Why are you braking? What are you braking for? Come on, I thought it's a Caterham. They're supposed to be fast, aren't they? Why is everybody braking? It's just evil. I'm trying to make the back end come out on this front wheel drive car. It's incredibly chuckable, more so than the Citroen. So let's just keep our shoe in. Try and get the wheels straight as quickly as we can. Just noticed we are hot. Whoa, we are hot. Temperature is hot. We are hot. Hot heaters. Turbocharged car has got hot. Look at all this water here. Only just noticed that. I thought it was Bob doing the windscreen washers. But it's not. Something's cooked. Right, let's get off track and we'll have a look. Look at this. You probably shouted at me in the video then going, look at your windscreen, there's steam coming out. I saw it coming out the back of the car and I thought, oh, I'd better slow down. Feels alright though, temperature's gone right back down. I fucking sent her a little bit hard.
Ain't a good sign. Whoa, ho, ho. I'm hoping that's just because it's got a bit too hot.
I mean, I was fucking giving her all she had, man.
You like screaming at 5, 6 hours, 6, 7.
12,000 RPM I had it up to at one point.
Yeah, she's wow.
A little bit of a kettle there, isn't there?
Look at it. See your tongue on it.
What's temperature gauge doing? Yeah, it's a bit high. I think what we'll do is we'll just let it run for another minute and then we'll switch her off, get a cup of tea, let it cool down, put some water in it. Did you check the water this morning?
Yeah, loads in it.
It's all over the fucking track now, isn't it? She's slowing down a bit. she will do more laps. Whether she likes it or not. Right, here we go.
Trackside repairs.
Expensive trackside repairs. Surely there's like some. Don't waste it.
No.
Okay, no.
No. Oh, look at that.
I've got some more in the car. We'll put it in it.
It's almost perfectly up to the maximum level.
Yeah. It's got some in it though.
Yeah, there's plenty in there.
Happy days.
Enough for another few laps anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Right then, we are running. Temperature gauge looks good. I can leave the hot air on, which should be fun. Go on. Didn't want to rev up then for a second. That's worrying, isn't it? I'm sure it's fine. It's probably just got a bit of coolant on the spark plugs, do you know what I mean? Fucking hell, he's got the legs on us there, wasn't he?
Oh yes. I'm loving this. Easily got the two slowest cars on track here today, but so much fun. That's Ben.
Something keeps beeping and we're not, I don't know if we're down on power or something, but something doesn't feel quite right. Oh, I spinned it. He's binned the Copen. He's binned it. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, the steam. Oh no.
Right then, time to swap out cars. I want my little Copen back.
Well, that was a bit exciting, wasn't it? It was okay after that. I was driving, but the GoPro had fallen off. Oh dear, we have done some damage. Look at the steam. I don't want to run her because I think I've done the radiator in. Let me pop the bonnet. Oh. I pushed her a little too hard again. Right, we're just coming out of there. Radiator, is that intact? Nothing's blown up. I just want to see if I can start her again. That's the thing. Have we got fluid? Right, we've got fluid. Let me run her again. Turbo's going to cook otherwise. Just wanted to check then. Right, temperature gauge is okay. Oh no! Oh well, that's a good job I've still got some paint left, isn't it? Right, it wasn't too bad. I have actually come off at that corner before. It's so tempting, especially as you get to the silly hours of the evening to just try and Scandi flick it round that bend. Everybody's okay. Nobody died. I think Rob's going to kill me. Oh God, here he is.
I thought you were supposed to catch me.
We had a problem.
Oh yeah? Is it overheating again?
Come and have a look.
Oh fuck, what happened?
We had a little bit of a pirouette. We had a dance.
Did you get on camera?
I did get it on camera, I think. But yeah, we had
all that work starting to happen, gone to that.
No, it doesn't matter because the wing's fine. And that's the bit I paint. I didn't paint the bumper, but I will now. I think I'll have to, won't I? I think on that note, back to the studio. We're back. It's the day after because I didn't get home till midnight last night, you know.
Yeah, similar time, 1 o'clock in the morning I walked through the door.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. It was a long old trip to Cadwell.
Yeah, but what a day though. It was so much fun.
I had an amazing time. It was great. Even with being in the Copen, I still had an amazing time. In fact, that was probably my highlight, you know. But yeah, and as well, you know, nobody died. Everything was okay. The car's okay. It just needs a bit of a paint and a new fog light, which I ordered today. It's 50 quid. That's expensive. Yeah, but it's fine. Everybody's okay. You know, I'm very much glad and aware that there was no other cars involved, and no, you know, I didn't run over 10 marshals or anything like that. So
and the car still drove. I think that's probably a really good plus point.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, even after all the steam coming out of it, you know, so much, well, we need to take it for another couple of tests just to make sure it's all right. But we were pushing it pretty hard. I think the radiator cap's gone, so it's releasing pressure through the overflow. So I think that's what it was. That's what I'm going to say it was anyway. You know.
Anyway, on to the important bit. Scores on the doors.
Yeah. So we've got the curb appeal, cost, reliability, comfort, and drivability for both cars. And then we've got the 0 to 60s for both cars and the lap times for both cars. If you watched the first episode of this, you'll know sort of roughly how this works. The Porsche, which is the only other car on the Tower of Power, did a 0 to 60 in 10:18. And it scored, out of all these, 29 out of an available 40 points. So quite good, but we've got nothing to sort of, you know, put it up against. And lap time, it did a 2:07.06 on the Anglesey GP, which is the track that we're going to use to standardise track time. So even though we drove at Cadwell Park, we've been able to do crazy maths, which I'll put a little screenshot of in the comments or something like that, and I'll show you how we got to our cars going around Cadwell Park, but knowing what the cars roughly would have done going around Anglesey. It's all to do with the standardised touring cars lap time, and then using what they do it with that driver versus what we did it on our tracks. Now, it's going to be me driving on those. We weren't competing against ourselves.
Of course not. There was no competitive nature at all, was there?
None at all. So what should we do first then? You know, these cars, one of you guys might be wanting to go out and buy one of these. So I think, you know, if we give you our feedback, you know, take it or leave it, do whatever you want. But we've been out there and we've given a lot of hours in these cars. We've experienced it, you know, we've touched most of the inside of these things, you know. We've been through them. So curb appeal, I'm going to do the Citroen, because that was the one that I picked. Rob's going to do the Copen. I said initially for curb appeal for the Citroen earlier on, like a 7 out of 10. It is dropping a touch. And the reason being is that it's on its own, away from any other nice cars. It's like, oh my God, it's really cool and interesting looking. But you put it in the car park of Cadwell when there's a lot of other very nice cars.
Yeah, it looked quite disappointing, didn't it?
It's too high. It's like a tractor. It's like...
Yeah, but rally car, isn't it? That's why.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And the wheels are small. It's just, it's not right.
No. It's a shame that people don't see the interior, because I really like the interior of that car.
Interior is
It's
really,
got some
really cool.
proper nifty features. Like,
Yeah, Citroen steering wheel.
yeah, Citroen steering wheel is my favourite.
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
a proper good retro Citroen steering wheel.
Yeah, it's dead
And
smart.
the rev limiter, I loved.
Yeah,
When
so-
you hit the red line in that car, it all just goes red in your face, and it's just like, stop trying to kill me.
No. So anyway, I'm dropping it down. Visually, curb appeal. It kind of looked a little bit like a shopping trolley when we were in Cadwell Park. You know, you put it on its own, maybe slightly different. You know, and take it for. It will age like a fine wine. That car, I'm sure, like all Citroens do. But for now, I'm giving it a 5.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's kind of fair. Isn't it? It's kind of
That's
fair.
fair. Definitely.
What do you think of your Porsche 911 then?
My Porsche 911.
Daihatsu Copen, sorry.
I was gonna say. So the Copen actually got quite a bit of attention around Cadwell.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
scrutineer was absolutely loving it. He was like, don't get enough K cars around here.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see that go around the track. And we had quite a few guys come over and like,
Yeah.
what is this machine?
Guys that came over in the paddock, they were talking, weren't they, asking what it
it's
was.
quite out there, isn't it?
I mean, even on the trailer, on the way home, when I got petrol in the Passat, some guy was like, is that a Daewoo?
I dare you.
And I was like,
No,
it's
mate. Daihatsu, isn't it?
not." Yeah, but it looked dead smart, didn't it? I think it's a cool looking car. Sort of thing, you know, I'd enjoy driving that round, you know, and having people look at it with the roof down and stuff. I don't know, what do you reckon?
It's quirky. 7.5, probably.
It's high. What did the Porsche get? I can't remember what was on there, but
It was
7.5. Okay, cool.
Just because it's out there, they're not common. People don't.
I just didn't realise we were doing half points. Cost.
I think your Citroen, that was a bargain.
Maybe we got that a bit cheap. I don't know, because you know, you look now, you can't find any under a couple of grand. So maybe got it a bit cheap, but
Yeah.
I think
But you've done some work on it as well, remember? So
that's true. Yeah.
I think the cost we paid was quite reflective of the condition of the car.
Yeah. So I think that car's probably worth like maybe 1,700 quid, 2 grand, something like that now. If you want something different to everybody else, I think what else are you going to get for 1,700 quid?
Yeah, not a great deal.
But again, it's not, I don't know, it's weird because if I had 1,700 quid, the question you would ask yourself is, would you buy it?
No.
No, I don't think I would either.
No.
It'd have to be much more appealing. So for that, it's getting a 5 again.
Fair one.
I hope there's a pattern emerging. The Copen.
So the Copen, again, similar price to the Citroen. I can't remember how much we paid for it now. It was like 840 quid or something
Yeah,
like that, wasn't
840, something like that. And then, you know, the problem is, again, it needed loads of paintwork and still needs some.
Yeah.
But
The resale value is quite high, isn't it? So
yeah,
3.5 seems to be the going rate for a clean Copen.
yeah, if it's been painted and stuff like that.
And not stowed into a barrier road.
And not
Cadwell.
spoken to them. But I think to like cost-wise, if you were to go out, so now if the only Copens out there were nice ones for 3.5 grand, do you
Yeah.
think that's you know good price? Well, you comparing it to like an MX-5 or something like that, you know?
Probably the only realistic contender, isn't it? Or some of the other K cars, there's those little Suzuki Cappuccinos, which
Yeah, they're a lot more
are
expensive
really
now.
expensive. So if you compare it to that,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
for like, I reckon 6, I think, is probably a fair shout for
Yeah, I would say so. It isn't an incredible bargain,
No.
but it's not bad turbocharged Japanese car for,
Yeah.
you know, granted it is turbocharging an engine the size of a lawnmower, but
Yeah.
reliability, this is interesting.
Oh, especially with that Citroen.
Well, and the Daihatsu a little bit
Yeah,
really,
the
because
Daihatsu. But
I was driving straight and it went into a barrier. I just don't know who reliable is it.
I think that was the driver, not the car, mate.
So what do you reckon then?
To be fair to that Citroen, we drove it up there, so it did a 3-hour journey,
Yeah,
2 hours having its neck rung around track,
yeah.
and drove home faultlessly. That's pretty good.
I mean, I totally agree, but it felt like it was going to explode or bits were going to fall off at every opportunity. That
Around
was
the
my
track.
only negative.
Yeah, around the track, 100%. But even still, I drove it back after the track day, and it drove home beautifully.
Yeah, that's it. It's an odd one. It's like because it's a big, heavy Citroen, everything sort of rattles and you feel very disassociated from what your wheels are doing in different corners. It's just a little bit, I don't know, nothing went wrong with it though. We can't really score it sort of low. I think it's got to be quite high for reliability.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's a couple of leaks, oil gasket and stuff, and I'm trying to think, nothing else went wrong really. A lot of the plastic stuff, right, there you go, a lot of the stuff interior doesn't work, so the cup holders and
Yeah,
that don't
I
work.
noticed that.
So we'll drop it a couple of points for that. It's getting
Yeah.
it.
I was going to go with 7, but
This is it. Could have
There
given
we
it
go.
7 now, couldn't we? The Daihatsu.
now the Copen. So don't think these were ever really designed to go flat out around the racetrack, and it showed.
Yeah,
Didn't it? It overheated.
yeah.
It blew a gasket.
Blew a gasket. It's quite common for like turbo cars not to enjoy like, you know, getting hot and doing lots of like sort of track days and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they turbocharge it. And the thing with the Citroen is the Daihatsu as well is where the turbocharger is. It's directly next to the radiator. It's like right in front of the engine. There's no room in that engine bay because the car's so small. I'm surprised it was getting any airflow or anything like that into it. So I kind of get why it's
It's got bigger dinner plates in the size of that radiator as well.
Yeah.
It is tiny.
It's like that, honestly.
It is.
It's not great. So maybe just sort of mincing around in it with the roof down, great. But I don't know. What do you think?
I'm going to a 6.
I think as well, just briefly, the turbo pipes unnecessarily confusing. Really, a little bit too many. They were all sort of going everywhere. And you're like, does it need that? Does it need that?
Yeah.
A lot when we were diagnosing it, there was so much stuff that we just like unplugged to check, and it made no difference to how the car ran at all. Didn't even put an engine management on it, and you're like, well, get rid of it then. What
Yeah,
are you saying?
engine management system on that side of stuff was pretty poor as well.
It was, yeah, it was.
Very basic.
Yeah, not not the best.
I'm going with a 6. It's very costly to repair if something like a turbo goes wrong as well.
That was interesting. How much? I thought a turbo, you get it repaired for 250 quid, or you could find one second-hand online, good one. Nothing. Cheapest, what was it? 760 quid or something? 800 quid.
Imported from Japan. That's the other issue. Trying to find spares for this Copen, everything seems to have to come from Japan.
Yeah, or be expensive broke ones like the fog light, 50 quid. Wow.
JDM tax that, mate.
It is, isn't it? Comfort, drivability. So the Citroen, right, it's too tall. So I like it's one extreme to the other. I've got that much above my head before I hit the roof, and it's weird being in there. It's like you're driving an MBV, like an old Renault Espace or something. It's so weird. And like I found that you were so far, like it feels like, you know how rally cars are set up with all the sort of.
But it is a Sebastian Loeb edition.
This is what I mean. It's like it was kind of almost designed for that, because you're right back in the middle. You know, you've got the pillars there, and it's just, I don't know. It was a little bit. As a road car, it would do my head in getting in and out of that and driving it around every day. The doors were massive.
Yeah. The reach you had to get the seatbelt.
Yeah, you had to practically sort of like turn around in the chair to go and get it.
Muscle.
Yeah, and like loads of little things as well with the drivability, like just where stuff was laid out. Love Citroen, all the steering wheel, all the bits, all the buttons and everything. You know, you'd need a PhD to work out where everything was. It would take you years to sort of be able to just automatically tune this or do that, because it would. The steering wheel must have had 30 buttons on it. Bonkers, like really, it's great.
Quite race car wheel, I thought. Yeah, like little spinny wheels, there's 4 of them, too many buttons.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool, but yeah, just a bit it's difficult. You compare it to something like a German engineered car. It's very sort of nicely laid out cockpit and stuff, and you're like, oh, this is great. When you jump into that, it is a little bit of a headache, but it's fun, isn't it? But
French ergonomics.
And comfort-wise, again, really nice and sort of, you're sort of back, laid back in a thing, but it doesn't make, to see what's going on there, you've got to sort of like do that and like look over there, and like you couldn't reach bits of the dash and stuff because you're so far back.
Almost 5s across the board.
I feel like, oh God, that's my PIN number. I feel
like
like
a bank card over there.
I'm scoring the Citroen quite low, but you've got to go with your heart, So the Daihatsu Copen that my head hit the roof off all the time.
That's because you're like a giant, and your head's like just about fitting that car. So.
That's true.
I really enjoyed the Copen. I thought it was really comfortable drive. Did enjoy driving it.
Yeah.
The roof down, it's pretty good as well. Seats are really comfy.
I felt that as well, you know. I thought when I saw it, I'm not going to get in this, but I did. Without the helmet on, it was dead comfortable, ergonomically dead good. Nothing was confusing. Nothing. It was just easy. Even all the buttons for the roof and everything, it was all dead straightforward, wasn't it? I really liked it.
Everything worked as well. Some of the switches were a little bit tired, but they still functioned.
Yeah.
In my eyes, as a plus.
Yeah, definitely. I really liked it. I think it did quite well.
Yeah. I'm giving it an 8 for comfort and drivability.
What made you only give it an 8?
Bit reserved, aren't I? So.
Don't want to give the full 10.
Yeah. It's no MX-5.
No, yeah.
And if you know me, you know I love my MX-5.
We have the scores. Now we did some runs, we got some times, we sort of got the best one as best as we could. A little bit surprising in some places, but the next two cars on the Toyota Classics Tower of Power 0 to 60 board, the Citroen C4 11:48. So 1 minute 30 seconds slower than the Porsche to 60. The Porsche though, it had like a weird, really sort of torquey engine. It had like, it got to 60 and then it sort of ran out of puff quite quickly.
Yeah, but because it came out with van.
It's true, yeah. And it's like, and rear wheel drive and all that sort of, and then you were there and then it stopped.
Now the Copen, so...
Come on, the fastest car, it's a turbo!
So, when we first bought this, we did some 0 to 60 runs because we were convinced something wasn't right.
And what did we get? I think we were in the
32,
30s.
wasn't it? 32 seconds 0 to 60.
What a thing.
After we
Great.
battled it, we took it back to the 0 to 60 proving grounds.
Yeah,
And
which
she
is
did
just
it.
on the A51 there.
We did it in a miraculous 14.12 seconds.
It's pretty good, that's okay.
Good improvement over 32, but she's still the slowest car in 0 to 60 mode.
By a fair old whack as well. We had a look online and it said like 11 seconds to 60. You're never getting that. Like, that engine worked perfectly, like, you know, we've done all the tests, it worked well. You're never getting near 11 seconds in one of those.
Must have been a hot day.
Must have been, yeah. we should get a NOS kit and like just put NOS on it. Oh no, I need to sell it, need money. Right, okay. This is the exciting one, for me anyway. Lap times. Now, the way this works is the Porsche did Anglesey in 2:07:06. Now, that is an actual time, that was timed on the track. Now, these two times for these cars, these were timed at Cadwell Park. So how is it going to work on a lap time? Well, we've used a standardised touring car, TCR car lap time, and we've managed to work it out. And these two that are going to go on here now, or up here, who knows, are theoretical. It's just a bit of fun, but it's theoretical. But we have done some maths, so it should be pretty good.
It's theoretical Ben maths, if you can get your head around that.
Yeah, that's it. Bloody hell, okay. Who's going
A bit
first?
dubious about this.
I think you should go first, because I am convinced that that's probably the slowest car we've both ever driven.
Okie dokie. So,
Into a set down cup.
theoretical Copen time around Anglesey GP circuit is 2:04, which is better than the Porsche.
No way.
Yes way.
Wow, 2:04, better than the Porsche. Now, I can kind of believe it. There's a lot of stuff in Anglesey that's very sharp, tight corners. When you go up the hill, you have to go round almost like 2 hairpins in the centre, and then another hairpin at the end. The Porsche hated that. The entire time the Porsche was just like trying to get a tractor around a field, you know. So I can believe that 3 seconds difference in the two. Yeah, I'm on board. And the straights aren't that long on Anglesey, so you know by the time the Copen's got to its like 80-mile-an-hour top speed that it did, I'm on board. This one,
The big one.
let me just move these down here.
Come on, put us all on misery.
The Citroen did a theoretical Anglesey lap time in 1 minute 58 seconds, 0.5. Come on! Now,
Oh, head's getting bigger.
it is just the best at picking cars and driving them into walls. Just for your reference, the touring car, the TCR car, does Anglesey in about 1 minute 30. So 1 minute 58, yeah, kind of believable. The Citroen, the thing that on the track made the difference between these two times, the tyres.
Yeah, 100%.
The tyres they're much wider, twice as wide as the Copen, and maybe almost twice as wide as the Porsche. Now the Porsche had like eco wings on it, and every corner I was going around it, I hated it. You know, it's quite understeery and stuff in places. The guy that bought that Porsche as well, if you've seen it recently, he's put 4 new tyres on it, so great. But the difference was in the width of the wheels, the tyres. It turned in, it went round the corners. It was just you could come onto the pallet and get out of the corner and get the wheels straight again so much faster than both of those cars.
Yeah.
So there we go.
That little Copen, 165, 75, 14s on it, I think.
165, that's like that.
Yeah.
It's like my push bike over there's got like 145s. But that's it, brilliant. So out of the two cars, the Citroen's blitzed the lap time out, from the Copen, and the 0 to 60, the Citroen one as well. We kind of expected that,
Yeah, we did. But it's been a great laugh, gotta say. My first ever track day, that, and what a car to do it in.
Yeah,
I touched the brakes 3 times.
I didn't at all.
Yeah, no.
The Copen did blitz the curb appeal, cost, reliability, comfort, drivability board though, so that's
Pretty well now, isn't it?
Hasn't quite beaten the Porsche, but it got very close.
I feel like I should have been a little bit more kinder to it on the reliability.
Well, if you'd have given it 8 instead of, or 9 instead of,
Yeah, never mind.
Oh well, the scores are there now. And listen, look, this was our first time that we've done this. This is the first. I mean, the Porsche was like I was just testing a few bits of equipment, but this was the first time we've had to put everything together. In total, it was maybe like 8 days of filming. And trying to get that all together and make it work. I hope I've done it, and I hope you've enjoyed it. We've had a great time doing it.
It's been great fun.
Yeah, we're already talking about the next one. We're already talking about the next 2 or 3, to be honest. So, and there's loads of other stuff going on around here. The Triumph Spitfire's behind us there, which you saw last week, and work started. We've got the Panhard Day, which we're doing more stuff on. So there's just a lot of stuff happening. And if you want to see any of it, please subscribe, give us a like. If you want to follow me on Instagram as well, or Facebook, I do lots of updates. So I'm always, whenever I'm here doing work, I'll just do stories and pictures and stuff. So get on there and you can see what's happening and what's coming up and all that sort of stuff.
Live from the studio.
Live from the studio. Thanks very much for watching.
Thank you guys. Catch you next time. You'd prompt it.
I need it fucking written there.
Bit of adventure.
If you know where Hull is, yeah. This is going to be brilliant. It's very long. Oh, fucked up. Over the next sort of, fuck's sake, going around a track, and what I'd like to. No, that's fucking shit. And just waffling
We've got £1,000 each to spend on a car. It's got to be. So we've got £1,000 to spend on a car, which we've decided has got to be from the Gran Turismo area, early 2000s, mid 2000s.
Is it area?
Today is the day. It is the Grand Tour. Quite fortunate here. I get to have a little drive of Ben's car. Got a 3-hour window to get accomplished with this car. So it's freebie in the car. Do you want it?
No.
So yeah.
Why did you throw it?